Hello again, Michael Kingston here. Thank you very much for joining us again for this week's Q&A session. So this week's question comes from Jean Morgan. Michael, what sort of deposits should I put forward when I'm making an offer on a property and why? Now there's actually two parts to answer this question. Now the first being a little bit of information I actually want to cover first. So when you're making an offer, you're going to make an offer that has an initial deposit as well as a balance deposit. An initial deposit is typically about 2.25% of the purchase price. Now that's just to get things going, get the contract started. Now the balance deposit is up to 10% of the purchase price. This is typically due when the property goes unconditional, or it can be sort of negotiated when you're actually making the offer to begin with. Now, the reason why we make either a strong deposit or a low deposit is quite simple. When I'm going to buy a property, I'm going to put forward a very strong deposit, somewhere between 5 and 10% of the purchase price. The reason why I do this, I want to show the seller that I'm putting some skin in the game, and I really want to buy that property. Now, one thing that you might be worried about is if I put forward a strong deposit, what happens if something happens to the property and I miss out on it, or I want to terminate the contract. Now, don't be worried about this, because quite simply, if one of your conditions aren't met, for example, the building and pest or the finance period, quite simply, you can actually pull out on those conditions and be entitled to a full refund of your deposit. From a seller's perspective, this is why they will potentially take a contract with a higher deposit as opposed to a lower deposit. Quite simply, a deposit is actually there to cover stuff like the agent's fees, the marketing fees, the solicitor's fees, the storage fees, and any holding costs, for example, like a mortgage repayment that could potentially come out over that period of time as well. And this is actually just there purely as a security if the contract doesn't go through. Now that's a wrap for us today, guys. Be sure to check out michaelkingston.com.au, and we're actually going to be doing a blog on this that will actually cover it in greater detail. Also head over to Michael Kingston Property Facebook page to submit any other future questions for us, and we'll cover it in next week's Q&A session. Thank you very much.